Thank you very much. So Thomas More, in his book about Utopia, described this idyllic place where there's peace all the time and everyone is equal. And when I knew the theme about this TEDxYouth, I thought, that's great, I'll explore that. And the reason, so Thomas More knew that that place doesn't and probably will never exist. And the reason he chose the word utopia is because in Latin, it means no place. And that is where refugees find themselves, in a no place. Did they expect to get there? Did they want to get there? Nobody expects to get there. We don't think it's ever going to happen to us, but it could happen to us all. It's happened to our forefathers, and it's happening to many people around the world. But they don't expect to get there. When I met Abdi in Nairobi, he was telling me about his life before he became a refugee. He had a home, a job, family, things he did. Normal life, not much different from us, the normal privileges of life. But he lost it all. And if you look at Sir Thomas More's version of utopia, he's got there because everyone is equal. And you look at refugees, and that's exactly whatever they had before, they have been reduced to the same thing. They've come to utopia. Or have they? Well, let's examine whether it means the same thing to us all. Of course, along with utopia and this no place, is identity. And we have identity, we have passports. I'm Jane, I've got a British passport. I have an identity. But refugees, so many refugees are refugees. They lack identity. They have a paper which says they are a refugee. In Nairobi, again, I was in Nairobi just now, I met Bizimana, a great, energetic, lively young man from Rwanda. And his name is appropriate because he was busy. He was busy making a life for himself. He had a job, he'd started a business, and he was producing these snacks. And he was providing for himself, he was earning a living, he was employing local people, he was contributing to the local economy. He's doing great. He's also a musician. He's a big fan of Nas. I'd never heard of Nas before that. I know all about Nas now, but I'd never heard of him before that. And he had written a song based on a similar sort of music called Cry of the Refugee, which he put into a video. And his video is great. We often use it. And he won an award for this video in New York, $1,000. But he couldn't go and get it. Why? Because he's a refugee. He's got no papers. A person with so much identity had no identity. That's the problem of egalitarianism. If I tell you that there are, 64 million people displaced by conflict around the world, that last year we funded and supported projects for 5,000 people, it doesn't mean enough. Before numbers, they are human beings. And human beings, as you can see, take a pride in themselves. We need to understand them. It's a severe crisis. It's a crisis around the world that affects us all. We need to understand them. And there's a hell of a lot we can learn from them. And I even wince as I say they and us, because it shouldn't be that, should we? But we talk about it. We talk about the board or the teachers or whatever. There's a they and us in everything we do. And as I'm saying about refugees, I wince slightly. But they want a normal life. They want a life which is very similar to ours. They just want to do normal things and dance and sing and do the family things that we all do. They don't want to be refugees. They don't want to be in that no place. And so is their utopia the same as ours? That no place that they've ended up in. Camps, urban situations, and so on. To understand them and to get to know more about their lives, the important thing is not those numbers, but it's the individual stories. And it's the individual stories that really bring it home to us, what those people are and what they're like. I was doing a presentation earlier this year in a school, and telling stories, and I asked the students what their impression was. And one student stood up and he said, "That boy wants to be an engineer." So do I. It's the same. In another presentation I was doing in a company, again I asked, and one of the participants said, "It brings it home to you that before people became refugees, they did the things that we all like to do, and they wanted to do, and that they can still do if they have the opportunity: music and playing sports." This reminds me of going on one visit with my husband, who came back talking about the fact that he was aware that everyone wanted to sort of hold their own culture, keep their own culture, and they also wanted, he came back with that word normality, which comes up time and time again when I'm speaking. And he's a big football, soccer fan, and he was watching them play football. Sorry if you speak soccer, but it's soccer. Not just that they were playing it, but they were bothering about it. They wanted to wear the colours of their favourite team. They were making it as real as they could. He didn't approve of their choice of teams, but that doesn't matter. And the other thing is that we fund some projects for studies, and they graduate at the end of the course, and they like to wear the robes and the mortarboards. Oh, and there's a huge irony there, because those mortarboards are being banned in UK because as they toss them, they become missiles. But anyway, that's what refugees would like to do. So what can we do? We could give them food, we can give them clothes, and that is important. It is important, but it's dependence. And it's not creating opportunities. The majority of refugees around the world want to stay in their region. They want to keep their culture. They don't want to go to other places. I know lots of people think they do, but they don't. What they want is opportunities where they are. Opportunities to do the things that we all do and have a family life, to work, to earn a living, to go shopping. We all like to go shopping. This is Busy Mana's shop. We all like to do things like that. So this is what is really important. So is it utopia? It is really. They've hit equality. They've hit a no place. But is it really, really what they want? And the other side to this event, sorry, it's not an evening, is it's the square root of utopia. I thought, square root, okay. I remember doing square roots at school and really enjoyed doing them. I was pretty good at them. I probably couldn't do them now. But if the square root of 0 is 0, the square root of utopia must be utopia. So that doesn't bring... What else is square root for? It's about distribution. And that's what we want to do. Through the work we do, we want to tell people about it. We want to tell you that the refugees are celebrating. We want to tell you and spread the love. And this is what is really important. In Busy Mana's video, one of his lines is, different countries, different tribes, we're all one people. And I think that's very important. And I leave you with that one thought on no home, no place. There's no place. There's no place like home. Thank you very much.